Hello. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm sorry you just see my head right now. I am adjusting the stream on my computer before I head on over to the yoga mat. Okay, looks like everything is great. Looks like my cat, Kitty Boy, will be joining us today. That's him behind me. Okay, everything looks good to go. So I will catch up with chat afterwards, but right now let's go ahead and get into it. So thank you so much for joining me for 20 minutes of lunchtime yoga. This is an absolute beginner class. You need to have no yoga experience at all, but if you do, that's also wonderful. This class is really just meant to stretch out those tight shoulders, because I know over the course of the day, I end up kind of like this. And then those tight hips as well, because gosh, I am sitting more than usual working from home. I'm not going to lie. I think before I was able to get up and go get something to eat. And now my getting up and going to get something to eat is not walking down the block. It's walking to the kitchen. And so my hips have ended up really tight. And I think that's kind of where a lot of people hold their stress anyway. So let's go ahead and get started, stretch everything out. We're going to start from a standing position today, like you see me right here. So go ahead and stand up and step to the front of the yoga mat like you see me doing, or your exercise mat, or if you don't have a mat at all, just go ahead and follow along, and hopefully you can get a mat soon, but it's definitely not required. Okay, so from here we're going to start in Tadasana, which is mountain pose. So mountain pose, I'm just going to turn towards you really quick. In case you don't know, our feet are hip width distance apart. Our shoulders are rolled back, nice open chest here, slightly lifted chin, and tucked tummy in towards the spine. So we're a good solid mountain. So we're going to start from here, mountain pose. And let's just take a minute, maybe bend the legs a little bit and close the eyes so you can maintain your balance while you have your eyes closed. And just take a moment to check in with your breath. Breathing in and breathing out. This practice, this time is for you. So leave emails, messages, things to do. Just leave it over on the shelf and check into the time here. Alrighty, my friends. Go ahead and inhaling both those hands up above the head. Big body stretch here over the top. As big as you can manage. Big, big, big stretch. Great. And then diving forward all the way. We're coming to a forward fold. Nice and slow. We don't want to make ourselves dizzy. We're just going to go through a couple sun salutations here. So we're folding forward. If you can't touch the mat, that's totally fine. If you're here, that's totally fine. If you're here, that's totally fine too. Wherever you're at today, my friends, that is good to go. So we're bending forward, and then we're just going to go ahead and plant our palms by bending those knees, and then we're going to put that right knee down. Left knee stays bent. So we kind of end up in this pose right here. So from here, we're still facing forward, inhaling both hands up just like we did before. And then we're going to do the tiniest back bend. Maybe just a little tiny back bend here for Sanchalasana pose. Wonderful. Stretching up towards the ceiling. Great. Exhaling, go ahead and straighten that front leg. Sit back down on the back. We're just going to do a static stretch here. Maybe roll out that ankle a little bit. Wonderful. Okay, wrap that front leg behind you. Plant those palms again, and then we're going to push up into down dog. So flip the feet and press up, sending those hips up into the air. Pressing back from the palms of the hands, shoulders away from ears. Tummy is tucked again, hips are lifted high in the air. Heels are heading towards that mat. Now, if your heels don't quite touch the mat, if you're here, totally fine. Totally fine. Oh, we got some cat zoomies today. Okay, I don't know if you can hear. Alrighty. So pressing back, breathing, checking into that breath again. And then we're going to do the opposite side, Sanchalasana. So go ahead and put that left knee down this time. Put that left foot, right knee up. So just the opposite of where we were at before. Inhaling both hands up. Little mini back bend here. A wonderful big stretch up towards the sky. Looking up towards the sky. Shoulders are not crunched up towards the ears. Excellent. Same thing on this side. So sitting back, sending that right leg out long now. Nice big stretch here. Maybe roll out that ankle if you want to. Oh, wonderful. Okay, go ahead and wrap that back leg around again. We're going to come into downward dog, just like we did before. So planting those palms, flipping the feet, pressing those hips up, and we're only here for a moment. And then we're going to step or jump to the top of the mat for forward fold. Enjoying this beautiful stretch here. Maybe just hang, letting the nose go towards the knees as much as possible, and just let the space come in between each vertebra here, relaxing the shoulders and the neck, the upper back. Big breath in, big breath out. Inhaling, halfway lift. So a nice flat back here, like you're going to balance a tea set on the back. Exhaling, folding forward, bending those knees, and we're going to come all the way up nice and slow here. So slow as possible, slow, 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 slow. Stacking those vertebrae one on top of each other. Good. Coming back to Tadasana, our mountain pose. We're going to do a sequence like that, kind of similarly, but we're going to transition onto our booties just to stretch out our hips and shoulders. So inhaling, both hands up. Big stretch here. And then folding forward, so diving through center. Bending those knees, planting those palms, and we're going to just step back. So I'm switching positions so you can see me a little bit better. Stepping back into downward dog. We're pressing back the palms of our hands, so we're not straining our wrists. Maybe our knees are a little bit bent. I've got hyper flexible knees, so I have to be aware that I'm not bending them too far back. Okay, pressing back, and then all we're going to do is let our knees come down just like this, nice and slow. Flip those feet, coming into tabletop position, which is this. Pretty straightforward, right? So from here, we're going to do a couple cat and cows. Now, you might use this exercise outside yoga, or you might not. So I will lead you through it regardless, my friends. Okay, inhaling, we're going to drop that belly down and then look up into the sky. Our chest is shining forward. And this is cow pose. It's a good spinal stretch. Exhaling, we're rounding our spine the opposite direction, coming into cat pose. Our nose facing our knees. Inhaling, coming back up into cow. So really moving with the breath here. Exhaling, coming in. That's fine. You're doing great. Inhaling, coming into cow. And exhaling, coming into cat. Couple more rounds here. Moving with the breath. Inhaling through the nose. And exhaling through the nose. Rounding our back into cat. Last set here. Inhaling, coming into cow. Dropping that belly. Shoulders away from ears. And exhaling, coming into cat. Okay, so non-fancy yoga transition. We're just going to sit back on our booty here. We're going to send our legs out wide in front of us, just like this, as wide as possible. So I've got a pretty big pizza wedge here. If your pizza wedge is only like this, totally fine. We'll meet you where you're at. So sending those legs out nice and wide, just like we did before. We're inhaling both hands up. And then folding forward, pressing our palms against the ground as far as we can come forward. So I'm going to scoot back a little bit more so you can see me. So if you are just here, again, totally fine, my friend. This practice is for you to work out all the knots in your body. So if you can't quite get into a position where I'm at, that is 100% fine. As long as you feel good doing it and you are getting benefit from it, that is where we are meeting you at. So from here, if this feels like a good stretch to you, but you can maybe do a little bit more, I just want you to spider those fingers forward, maybe 1 centimeter, maybe an inch, just a tiny bit. Get deeper into the stretch with every exhale. We really want to stretch out that inner groin area, that inner thigh. It's where we hold a lot of our stress. So by stretching out our hips, we can stretch out our stress. At least that's my theory. And that's why I do this, because, man, I live with a significant amount of anxiety. So I have kind of a general anxiety disorder, and yoga is absolutely my way to manage it. And it's been really, it's really saved my life. I'm not going to lie. So I practice yoga several times a week to just try and keep my inner peace, keep my inner chill, and really find a little bit more happiness and put a little bit more happiness through the world by being a yoga teacher, hopefully. Okay, we're coming back out of this nice and slow, so go ahead and just walk yourself with your hands back out just like this. And we're going to bring our feet together in front of us. I'm going to switch positions here a little bit. Okay, so feet are together in front of us. Take that left leg, cross it over the right, just like this, and take the right foot and place it right in front of the right booty. So we're kind of in this pretzel shape. Now, if you can't make this pretzel shape, that's totally okay. You can stay here, not a problem. So if you want, go ahead and join me in this pretzel. And we're going to go ahead and take our left arm out long. Oh, excuse me. Scratch that. Right arm out long. I don't know what body parts are today. And twisting to the left. We're going to go ahead and wrap that right arm around that left leg here. So we're really stretching the outside of the hip with this. A nice spinal twist. Big deep breath in. Big deep breath out. And just follow your breath here. Doesn't need to be big breaths all the time, but really just checking in with your breath. And finding what works for you. If you want to make this stretch a little bit more spicy, you can pull that left knee a little bit in towards the chest with the right arm. Really get that stretch through with the left outer hip. Okay, exhaling, releasing, coming back to center, and we're just going to reset. So send both feet out long, just like we did before, and taking the right leg this time, crossing it over the left, and then same thing on this side. So left foot goes behind left booty, or if you can't make the pretzel shape, go ahead and leave that left leg out long. So from here, we are actually using our left arm this time, sending it out long and then wrapping it all the way around our right leg, twisting to the back. Finding that beautiful stretch on this side, stretching out the outer hip on the right side. We are almost done with our practice today, my friends. Hopefully it has really served you in stretching out. Everything needs to be stretched out, but we are got a couple more things to go. So let's focus on this stretch for now. So focus on this position. Stretching out behind us, maybe coming a little bit deeper into this pose. Good. All right. Relaxing, releasing, coming back to center. Let's go ahead and stretch out those shoulders and that neck. So what we're going to do is we're going to transition onto our ankles just like this. Now, if this hurts you, if this doesn't work, you can either grab a yoga block to sit on, or you can just come into easy seat, the crisscross applesauce. All right. So meeting me here, we're going to do something kind of funky with our shoulders. So just try to follow along. If you can't, that's totally okay. So we're going to lift our wings up wide, shining that chest forward. And then we're going to wrap our right arm underneath our left and then twirl them so that our palms are as close to meeting as possible. Now, if you can see, I can't quite get my palm up to the left one. That's totally fine. So as long as you're close as possible to this beautiful like twisted movement. This is called eagle pose, or eagle arms at least, not full eagle pose. And what we want to do from here is just kind of lift our elbows up to meet our shoulders as best as we can. It's okay if it hurts, go ahead and come back down, but really as best as we can. So from here, all we're going to do is just keep this position and breathing into that upper back, feeling that stretch across the shoulders, across the upper back area. Very good. Okay, exhaling, releasing. Wings out wide, my eagles. Chest shining forward, and then wrapping the opposite arm underneath this time. Doing the same thing except on the opposite arm. So we're lifting those elbows up towards the shoulders a little bit as best as we can. Now, if anything ever hurts, like it might feel uncomfortable, if anything ever hurts, go ahead and come out of the pose. No worries. We don't want it to hurt. Really breathing intentionally into the top of the back here, stretching out those shoulders. Good. Exhaling, releasing, big wide arms. Oh, feels so good. Okay, coming back to our booty. So go ahead and sit crisscross applesauce as best you can. This is Sukhasana, easy seat. And from here, we're just going to roll out our neck. So a little bit of stretch, a little bit of yoga. So go ahead and start one way, rolling out that neck, pausing in any areas that maybe need a little bit more love, a little bit more attention. You deserve it. This is your time to pay attention to your body. Maybe switch the other way. Oof, that feels nice. I love a good neck roll. Okay, coming back to center, go ahead and inhale that right arm up, bringing it over the top of the head, gently pressing on the left ear, bringing that right side of the head towards the right shoulder. Now, don't do this too hard. We don't want to strain ourselves, but just getting a little bit of a stretch down through the side of the neck, top of the shoulders here. Very good. Exhaling, release, nice and gentle. On the other side, inhaling that left arm up over the top of the head and gently pulling towards the left side here. I love this stretch. It's so yummy. Just try not to resist it as much as possible. Good. Okay. Releasing, coming back to center. That ends our asana practice today, our physical pose practice. So if you would like to head back to work or head back to your scheduled lunchtime, that's totally fine. We're going to end the rest of this practice with a little bit of breathing exercise, and then we're just going to lay down in Sukhasana and do our meditation. So another 5 minutes. If you have to leave now, totally understand. If you'd like to stay with me though, let's move into our breathing practice. So breathing practice in yoga is called pranayama, and it's this practice of intentionally breathing so you just kind of feel more energized or more relaxed depending on the breathing that you're doing. So starting in our Sukhasana easy seat, let's make sure our spine is nice and long. Sitting up tall, shoulders are away from ears. And we're just going to do a simple square breathing practice. Now, you might have practiced this before. Maybe if you've ever dealt with anxiety, it's just a good all-around breathing. So we're going to inhale for a count of 4, hold our breath for a count of 4, exhale for a count of 4, hold our breath for a count of 4, and inhale and go back from there. So we're going to use that for a total of 4 times. So joining me, if you want to close your eyes, that's a good time to do it now. Closing the mouth, and together we're inhaling for 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Last set. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Returning to normal breathing. Go ahead and keep those eyes closed. Really being intentional about the breath. If any thoughts come to your mind, see if you can just become an observer of them, whether it's the things you need to get to, or maybe a grumbling tummy, maybe a little bit of pinch of pain from sitting in this position. See if you can just let it float by without attaching to it, without holding on to it, exploring it. Just let it go. Returning to the breath, riding it in and out like a wave. Cracking open those eyes just a tiny, tiny bit. Just enough. We're going to transfer into corpse pose, the advanced pose here. So go ahead and lie back on the mat, sending those legs out long. Palms are face up right next to your hips. Really sinking into the mat. Seeing if we can intentionally release our muscles, starting with our toes, our feet. Relaxing the ankles and calves, knees and thighs. Relaxing the buttocks, abdomen, back. Relaxing the chest, shoulders relaxing, arms and hands relaxing, throat relaxing, neck relaxing, jaw falling open, relaxing cheeks and eyes, relaxing the forehead and top of head, melting into the mat, letting the mat completely support us. Returning to our breath. Inhaling and exhaling. Focusing completely on the breath. Again, if any thoughts come to the mind, let them wash away with the breath. Picturing the ocean waves coming up with your inhale, and the ocean waves going out with your exhale, washing away any thoughts. Exhaling, washing away anything that no longer serves you. Being willing to let go of the things that are no longer serving you. Inhaling and exhaling. My friends, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that this practice served you. You can stay in dead man's pose for as long as you need to today. But thank you so much for spending your time with me. Thank you for giving something new a try. I appreciate you. And I hope that the rest of your week and weekend is filled with peace and good energy, and that you do all the things you need to do from a place of centered peace. So thank you again. And if you felt like this class served you today, please consider leaving me a donation, just a cup of coffee. It's totally fine. You can scroll down and you'll see both my PayPal and Venmo links at the bottom there. So have a wonderful weekend, friends. Happy 4th of July. And I hope this weekend is restful for you. Namaste. And I will see you next week. Bye-bye.